So last week I ended up drawing 3 characters in a video series where I had originally promised myself one at a time. Well, today it is just one person. Sorta, since I'm drawing Mr. Hyde and his chaperone, Dr. Jekyll, from the 1932 film version of the classic Robert Louis Stevenson story. Not only is this, in my opinion, the best film version of Jekyll and Hyde, it's also one of my favorite classic horror films ever, easily in the top 10. Fredric March won an Academy Award for Best Actor for playing the dual role, and believe me, he more than earned it. Now, in another video, I said that the 4 most important horror performances of the 1930s were Dracula, Frankenstein, The Wicked Witch, and Jekyll and Hyde. What's interesting is that although Lugosi, Karloff, and Hamilton would forever be remembered in the horror genre for their respective roles, March never quite achieved that status in the monster scene. The reason for this is likely due to MGM burying away the film for decades after they decided to remake it in 1941 and didn't want the previous version to steal its thunder. I'm sorry to say that I never liked the 1941 version. I know Spencer Tracy was a big-name actor with a lot to his credit, but seeing him as Jekyll and Hyde with barely any difference between the 2 roles is pretty disappointing, especially when none of the other characters in the film can friggin' notice that they're the same damn person. It's like when a little kid puts on a towel and says, "I'm a superhero, swoosh!" And you just kind of humor them and go, "Oh, wow, you're really flying." To me, Tracy never pulled off the illusion. That's definitely not the case with Fredric March. Getting back to the good stuff, March's performance as both Jekyll and Hyde is incredible. The voices, the mannerisms, even the little micro-actions are so different from each other that you could even be forgiven for thinking Hyde was a different actor altogether. Yes, I know the heavy makeup really does the job of hiding his face completely, but even that wouldn't have done the trick if March hadn't played those 2 roles to perfection. Speaking of the makeup, let's talk about that. One of the fun things about most any version of this story is seeing what they do with Hyde. In Stevenson's original story, Hyde was pretty much a short, ugly little man, not necessarily a monster, except for his behavior, but not too many films went with that angle. Hyde in the movies usually goes between 2 extremes, normal-looking or even handsome, such as some of the Hammer versions or in Mary Riley, while the other extreme is a flat-out friggin' monster, usually like an ape or even just the Incredible Hulk, like in Von Helsing and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Hyde's appearance in the 32 films sometimes gets criticism for being a little too extreme for a serious version of the story, but I personally love it. The director of the film described the design as being very much like a caveman, meaning this is what man was and may still be at his core. In this sense, Jekyll and Hyde is less about good versus evil as it is about civilization versus nature, or sophistication versus brutality, or the difference between Fraser Crane and a crap-flinging chimpanzee. So there you go. It's a story that's been retold so many times with new meanings and insides added to it that it never gets old. Even though the 32 version is still my favorite, I'm always looking forward to see what others do with these characters, whether it's smart and sophisticated, or just a guy who turns into a monkey and beats the living hell out of everyone. Enjoy!
Thank you for being part of the show. If you enjoyed this video, please visit the bookstore at scapulacomic.com. There you'll find the complete Dada Hyena's Creature Show book series, showcasing my art of all of your favorite monsters. Yeah, even that one. You'll also meet Scapula, the world's worst villain, in his wickedly hilarious comic book adventures. Help support weird art and the weird artists who make it, and we'll share great frights and fun. Enjoy!